Okay, I do believe we're live. So,
All right.
everybody who's watching, welcome. This is another Nostalgic Source Hangout part, number 2, part, oh, I meant to say part B, but, oh, well, I'll have to correct that somewhere. But, that was part A.
Oh, double A.
Yeah, it's A. So, it has an additional letter to it, so we'll leave it at that. I currently have Patrick and Zachary, who runs a YouTube channel called Go Science Yourself.
Correct.
Oh, triple lime. I just did the most newbie thing ever.
Uh-oh.
If I can just find it. Yeah, I got it going on in the background and I can't find it. There we go, muted. Well, I just did the newbiest thing ever, so. First 2 times, not a problem. 3rd time, well, just showing myself. But as I was saying, Zachary runs a has a Go Science Yourself YouTube channel, which is I quite enjoy.
Thank you.
It's criminally undersubscribed, so check this out. Go check it out. I'll let Zachary go on and tell anything about it. Chill yourself, Zachary.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm Zachary, as the name implies. I run the Go Science Yourself channel, and it's less often the Tyrant Slayer 24 channel. And I basically just do generic science videos ranging from mostly geology and paleontology, and to
Did we lose you? I think we lost you for a moment.
Oh. Yeah, you've been kind
Okay, I was muted there, but oh darn! I was so hoping we'd have better luck this evening. Oh, we got Patrick back, so
okay.
I might give just to let
Sorry, it
Patrick
took me so
know,
long.
I might give Zachary preferences when he ends up getting good going there.
Oh. What?
But for my first podcast, whatever you want to call it, I have to make a correction in there. I thought one of the earliest science shows I watched was Quirks and Clarks. No, I was wrong. It was actually called Wonderstruck. It was on the CBC up in Canada, and Bob McDonald was the host, and that was probably, I think, one of the earliest science shows I can remember that I was exposed to. That's what got me. That was one of the main things that got me quite a bit interested in science. So, just to make that correction. So, let's see. Well, we'll take we'll throw the dice out there and we'll see if Zachary can get a go here, and then maybe he can tell us of what. I think even though you kind of did it in the first one, maybe we'll rehash it and you tell us, or if you got any new other things you want to tell us that inspired you to do to get into what you got into. We'll let you go at it, and then we can discuss things from there.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I hear you loud.
Okay. Okay, cool. Oh, loud again. Yeah, so basically I just run Go Science Yourself, where I do basic and generic science videos. And biology was, first it was, Jurassic Park. And then the show called Paleo World was on when I was a kid, and that's what kind of fueled my passion to go into fossil hunting and such.
Oh, cool.
And I never grew up from there.
Well, tell me a little bit about Paleo World. What do they all do? Because I think I remember it, but it's so big.
Yeah, it was like a half-hour-long show just about anything in paleontology, going from dinosaurs to, there's a pterosaur episode, whales, And I think there was also a hominid episode too. It was basically just a bunch of generic paleontology topics in the one show.
Oh, cool. What about you, Patrick? We'll snack onto you. What are some good sources, old sources that inspired you to get enthusiastic about science and stuff like that? And
it's hard to say. Ever since I was a little kid, really.
Yeah.
But let me just ask a real quick question. Zachary, are you the same person as Tyrant Slayer? He is? Okay.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I just yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I did subscribe to your channel, by the way, your YouTube channel, Zachary. Anyway,
Oh, thank you.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. Ever since I was little, really, I was that 8 or 10-year-old that went to the library trying to learn about space and stuff, and because they weren't teaching too much of it in school, grammar school. So I was always into it. I was always fascinated with that stuff. And then, of course, I was already, out of my teens by the time that the Cosmos came out. But when Cosmos came out, it was like that was a standing room only. We used to watch that. Like, we made sure we didn't miss any episode. And we watched it over and over again. I still watch some of it when I see it. But I got my own telescope. I had a telescope when I was younger.
Well, that's cool.
I guess the moon landing. I mean, obviously the Apollo missions were. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pause so long. The Apollo missions were a big part of it too. That was when I was still a teenager.
Wow.
And when Apollo 13 had that trouble, I was running home to drop the books or whatever I was doing on the table to see if they were back yet, to see if they were safe, whatever. Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
I have to admit, I'm kind of jealous because that would have been cool. So, yeah, I mean, it would have been also terrifying to hear about those astronauts stuck up there. But my mom actually got to hear about the moon landing. I think she was in school at the time that it happened, and it was even quite a big deal up here in Canada, apparently too. So, I think most of the world it was a big deal. So, what was the most memorable thing about the Apollo missions that either captured your imagination or got you or that kept your interest?
I think it was like the whole thing, well, especially Apollo 11, the actual landing. But you know how people are saying, why don't they just get there, But it was like the whole many years that it took for them to test this and then go there and come back without landing. I was like, oh, damn, I wish they would just landed, But it gave me the discipline to be patient because these, they were testing, this is how science is done. It's a slow process, and and it's an incredibly dangerous thing that they were doing to begin with, and and then when Apollo 11 came, that was like the most amazing freaking thing, We had a black and white TV, and my sister was there with a 35mm camera taking pictures of the TV screen, of this whole thing, and we saw that whole thing where one small step for man, that sort of thing. We saw them step off the ladder. We saw them do that whole thing, on a black and white TV. And just to be able to see what they were doing, we watched. I don't remember all the things that happened, but we were watching whatever they broadcast. They didn't broadcast every single step, but them picking up the rocks and them. I forgot who it was, which landing it was. I don't know if it was Apollo 11 or if it was the one after. They brought a sledgehammer and a feather on board. They smuggled it on board to do the Newton thing, where you drop both of them and they both land at the same time because there's no air, that sort of thing. to
I
prove.
actually,
Yeah, to prove
saw
that
the
point.
footage of that. That was awesome.
Yeah, we saw that. You know, I think one guy actually did a golf ball thing. These astronauts are funny guys. You know, but we saw one guy stumble, you know, because he was walking too fast or something. You know, the whole 9 yards. The whole it was just exciting. And then of course when Apollo 13 came, and we heard there was an explosion. Like I said, watching them having to go around the moon anyway, because you can't just like up and turn around and come back. They were halfway there when this explosion happened, so they had to go all the way around the moon and do the figure eight thing and come back. And on the way around, they had because of loss of oxygen and all kinds of things that the explosion damaged. They had to actually find a way to live in the lunar module. And it was actually snowing in the lunar module at one time. Now, the lunar module was not made for living in. The lunar module was made for landing in it, and the damn thing was built for very temporary things. And you can literally, according to them, you could push a pencil through the skin of this thing, of this aluminum, if you pushed hard enough. You know, it was very thin. I don't think it was as thin as tinfoil, but it was, you know. And then they had to the whole thing where Grumman made one part of the I forget which one was which. It was Grumman and I think Boeing or one of the other airplane companies. One made the command module and one made the lunar module. I think it was Grumman that made the lunar module. So they had these these air scrubbers. You know, they remove the carbon dioxide and turn it back into, you know, recycle into oxygen, that sort of thing. They had to literally use duct tape to combine two of the elements, one from the command module, one from the lunar module, in order to make them fit, because they were two different companies and they weren't made to fit each other. I think they learned their lesson since then to make the whole thing out of one company or something. But yeah, it was exciting, you know. And when they got back, we all like, wow, they made it back, you know. But they're amazing to what they had to go through to try and to live in a lunar module which was only designed for a couple of days, and they actually had to live in it for like 3 days.
Yeah.
It was the command module that was blown apart.
Oh wow, that is cool. Yeah, I kind of remember when they had the space shuttle disaster, and I was just young when that happened. But yeah,
That happened when I was still married. I remember that. That was sad.
Yeah. I seem to when the things that got me interested were more like seemed to be along the lines of combination, more on the physics side, a little bit of the chemistry, because I really enjoyed chemistry in high school. Yeah, I did for a brief moment in my life was kind of interested in paleontology just for a little bit, but I figured because of my learning disabilities, you know, because I'm a slow writer, I have a lot of problems within the sciences, so I kind of dropped that off. But I got mildly interested. We'd taken a trip. I do believe it was just before I was about to go into high school. We had taken a trip and we'd gone through the Badlands in Alberta. I don't know if any of you've heard of those. And we'd taken a tour. We'd taken a stop through a dinosaur museum. Where was that? Drumheller, I do believe it is. I could be wrong about that, but we also then, after that, took a little bit of a tour of the Badland Canyons itself, and there was a fellow there talking, and he had stumbled across a small fragment of dinosaur fossil, and so I got kind of interested, but then I got a little discouraged in high school because I was afraid that all the writing one would have to do, and I always had difficulty with writing. So I ended up being more interested in a lot of more modern terrestrial sciences, and I actually even took an interest in history. Strangely enough, I actually got a bit of an interest in history. And that was kind of thanks to, as I said, the one thing that inspired me to do these hangouts was the James Burke's Connection series, and because I connected everything together. And I was always the type of person that, always looked at the web of things, how things were connected. But I only did that very loosely as a kid. But when I started watching that series, I really started seeing, how one thing led to another. How one thing, solved another thing, which then allowed another thing to come about. And it's like, next thing you know, I mean, the same reason we have this product, we have this ability, and yeah, so.
Well, yeah, I'm interested in science in general, and I did like paleontology, so to speak, the dinosaur thing when you were kids. The thing is, the accessibility of material to learn from wasn't there for that sort of thing. Unfortunately, I was also a bad. History was my worst subject in junior high school, and I wish now that it wasn't, but history has a lot to do because we're talking ancient history, right? But the dinosaur stuff, the paleontology, the ancient history, or prehistory wasn't available. Like, it wasn't taught. And it was bad enough that the astronomy wasn't really taught, but at least in space sciences there was the availability, because we used to have the World Book Encyclopedia and stuff. The availability of the, like when I first found out that when I was a single-aged kid, single-digit age kid, it was, I learned that the sun was a G2 star, and I started to realize the whole age of the thing and how things are formed and all that stuff, and that's all connected. It's all about the same sort of thing. And then you realize that the dinosaurs died 65 million years ago, and that's just a sneeze in the time of the Earth's age and all that stuff.
What about you, Zachary? Was just paleontology the only thing that you got interested in, or did you get interested in more? And if anybody wants to bring up Starstruck stuff that they ran into, famous scientists or whatever, go for it. Anything's up for game. Anything that you want to talk about that inspired you to do this or impressed you or whatever. So.
Yeah, for the longest time, it was only paleontology for me, but as I got further up into college, I was taking more and more broad science classes, and I started to kind of getting into everything. Like, all kinds of sciences were interesting me, like chemistry. And in fact, chemistry interested me so much that...
Oh, I think we temporarily
lost you. And
you might have to repeat what you said there. You cut out for a second and you left us hanging.
Yeah, the last word we heard was that. It was so interesting to you, that, and then you cut out.
No, I think we lost him. No!
Zach, I think we lost you. I don't know if you know that.
Okay. Can you guys... Damn. Let's see.
There we go. Occasionally, we're getting every 30 seconds.
Every good one.
Oh, now we're hearing you. Keep talking.
Oh, okay. Okay, right now. Keep talking. All right.
You're
going back to the original question if I was only into paleontology for the long.
I don't think.
And started taking a lot more sciencey classes, and I started getting interested in things like chemistry and physics, and
I don't think we're gonna win.
So much that I decided. I'm sorry?
I
don't think we're gonna win with you today. You keep cutting out.
Man. Is there an auto mute system on your? Zach, is there an auto mute system on your mic or something that seems to be cutting in too early or something? I don't think it's a bandwidth thing. I think it sounds like an electronic muting you on and off.
It is a crappy laptop microphone. If that's, I know those can cause problems sometimes.
Oh yeah. Oh well. We'll try and work with it.
I mean,
Okay,
otherwise,
all right.
otherwise that's like loud and clear. But if it keeps muting you, maybe you should check into the functions, like the noise reduction functions. Maybe you cut the noise reduction down or something. I'm not sure if that's even there, but I'm just guessing at this point.
Yeah. If you would like, I can work on fixing that and then hopefully get it make sure there's no problems for the next hangout. If that's okay.
Sure. We'll just work with it. We'll put up with it. I mean, I don't think this is going to be too highly popular. Never know, it might be, but I want to keep things low key for right now. So I'm not one for high fame, so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you are an interesting person and somebody that's interesting to talk to, and that's what we're sort of missing what you have to say. But,
I know it totally blows.
I know you get to do things that I now kind of wish I could have. So we want to live vicariously through you, you know.
Well, if you're ever
Assume ever in your area.
so if you guys are ever visiting.
Sure.
well, anyway, I don't know if his mic is going to allow him to answer this question. I was just wondering, going back to the idea that what was available to me in my grammar school years, in my junior high school years, was more, and that was just on my own in the libraries. The astronomy stuff. The paleontology wasn't all of that available. Was it for you?
I think I heard that it wasn't available in your area, and it kind of was the same for me. Yeah, I had to move about 130 miles away from my hometown just to find a school that did offer paleontology. So it is kind of a
Yeah, I mean,
hard topic, things like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, before even college, like in your high school or even your junior high school and grammar school, did they even cover anything?
No, that in my high school, the closest thing they had was like an earth science class, and there's like a brief mention of fossils there, but it was mostly just kind of like how. Like just paleo class.
I think somebody's vying for attention.
Somebody's growling over there.
But no. I think even in my high school, the other thing that talked about fossils too was the biology courses. Because
Shut up! Come here. Come outside.
Did dip into
No. Let's see.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, you're there.
Okay, hello.
Nope. I hear you.
I don't know if you guys.
I don't know what's up with his mic. I'm thinking maybe it's too loud. Maybe you have the thing set so loud that the computer's cutting you off.
Okay. I think I'm gonna probably look into how to make this.
Yeah, you see, your dog just barked and it cut you out.
Sorting out. If you guys are interested in talking to me again.
Oh no, I will be. I've always liked your paleo, so I mean, hey, you're a YouTuber I subscribe to, so I'm a mild fanboy, so I won't say no.
Yeah.
Might be
On a technical side, I noticed that when your dog barked really loud, your mic went mute. So I'm thinking that might be the problem. Maybe it's like the settings are too loud.
Okay.
while we wait for him,
Yeah.
I kind of asked Zachary, but how about you? Have you ever run into, um, uh, or even gone to see, anybody in the science community that you kind of admired or had a level of interest in?
I never had the opportunity to meet specific scientists, but I used to be part of an astronomy club that some of these guys were going for their doctorates and stuff. That was a long time ago. But I did see, believe it or not, I think it was Isaac Asimov before he died. I actually saw him talk. And what he had to say was people are stupid. What else? My biggest connection right now is here on Google. And the fact that I was in a hangout podcast with Brian Koberlein, the astrophysicist, was an amazing thing to me. And that's only because of the technology we're using.
Yeah, that's the nice thing. I have to say, I have to agree. That is the nice thing. Back then, it was such a rare experience to even just go to a lecture or a speech or a presentation by somebody of any caliber. And I'm trying to remember if I ever did. I think I did, but I just can't remember who. It's gone from my memory. So all I could say is I probably didn't, but I'm fairly certain I have. But I think it was at a museum though. But I just can't remember for the life of me. And but
the closest I came really was that the fact that Carl Sagan used to live in Norway. He went to high school in Norway.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and it wasn't too far from where I used to live, and actually I had a cousin who lived in Norway.
I was actually quite sad that I was never exposed to the cosmos until just 5 years ago. I think was the first time I was ever exposed to Carl Sagan's Cosmos, and I haven't seen all of his original series, but from what I saw, from what I have seen, it was good. I think that would have inspired me a lot more. But now the nice thing is especially with the G Plus, you never know who you run into. I mean, I've been in rooms with an array of people with a varying caliber, and not anybody too famous, but
yeah, you bump right into famous people sometimes if you're looking in the right places.
Yeah, some of them.
Especially when you're interested in science and things like that.
And that's the awesome thing. So,
speaking of that, I don't know if you can hear me, Zach. Under your Tyrant Slayer, name, I sent you a Google invitation or shared with you the community of the Unseen Podcast. Did you see that?
I did not. Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
I'm breaking up on your side? Maybe.
Yeah, it might be just my computer thing.
Yeah, I think it might. Let me mute while my clock is chiming.
Sure, not a problem. It's just telling you that you better go catch your carriage before it turns back into a pumpkin.
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock too. Yeah, so the Unseen Podcast with Paul Carr. We do. Okay. That's the one I was with. Brian Koberlein was in there. I sent you I shared with you the community, and hopefully you'll join, because I think, and I sent a little note with it, saying that I think you might like this, and I think Paul Carr might appreciate having a upcoming paleontologist on board, because the podcasts are usually about almost anything usually space, but not always. You know, we talk about all kinds of strange shit. Sometimes we just play around, but I'm not always a panelist. He tries to get new panelists all the time, and definitely, I'm pretty sure he'll be interested in the fact that you've done some paleontology work, even if you're not a full-blown paleontologist as you call yourself. But as far as I'm concerned, you are.
Okay.
You know, but basically, it's just regular guys. Now he's a NASA engineer, systems engineer of some sort. You know, so.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I hope you see that.
I do see your invite, or see like an invite to Circles. Let's see.
Well, I might have added you to the Circles, but there should be I shared the Unseen Podcast, the community. I shared the community with you in hopes that you would join it.
Okay.
As soon as he adds you, I think he'll be able to see those stuff. So.
Well, maybe he has to add me under Circles first.
Yeah, that's what I found. Sometimes when there's a couple times I've added something and all of a sudden I got a flood of messages from them. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think I don't know if you'd be interested or not, but it's an Unseen Podcast. It's like a part of a WoW signal or sort of a takeoff of the WoW signal that he did. He's got this podcast, and what he does is he does these live things, and then on Google, and then he takes and turns into audio, you know, MP3, audio only podcast.
Uh-huh.
And I've actually shared those too. And again, like sometimes it's a little fooling around, and sometimes like the last one, episode 16, was a real serious one with Brian Coberline, the astrophysicist, and that was great. So I'm pretty sure that he'll be excited to have somebody who's, you know, going to school, college for paleontology. I'm pretty damn sure he'll be very interested in that.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I just added you. So cool.
Great.
I hope I get the notifications and all that.
Well, I could always share it again. Just
remember us when it becomes.
And
yeah, he doesn't ask for scientists to join. He asks for regular people, and in other words, it goes with the idea that I have about spreading, you know, the idea of science literacy. Nobody has to be an actual scientist, you know, but they should at least know something, you know. They should know that the Earth is a lot older than 6,000 years old, for one thing.
Yep.
You know, so that's the idea to spread that. But again, he seems to have some connections that he's able to ask certain celebrities, semi-celebrities. So
all right, cool.
you got more credentials than I've got. I'm just a science enthusiast. You know, I don't have any degrees or anything like that. So.
Yeah, if I had the money, I might audit a lot of classes. And
We had a microbiologist on the last time, the episode 15. It was a woman, I forgot her name. She was a microbiologist.
Yeah, I haven't finished listening to the one episode I got introduced to, but I have to admit it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, I don't know if I could contribute much, but I did join the community. So.
Oh, cool! You joined the community. That's good. You know, even if you never become a panelist, you know, if you're interested in just listening to the podcast or just seeing what we're all about, I managed to get myself into panelism. You know, I was actually part of the community for some time before I was asked. I guess he must have caught wind of something I was trying to do or something, and he sent me, "You want to be a panelist?" or something like that, and he asked me for a headshot and all this other stuff. I'm like, all right. And once I did that, all of a sudden I was in, like Flynn.
Sweet. Yeah, as I said, but I'm probably going to stay pretty lowbrow. But yeah, I might, you know, if the opportunity comes, if he's having a general hangout, I may end up joining him because, you know, I like butting heads with people, you know.
It gets confusing though. He sends out the invitation like days before. You get the event, and then he sends like a secondary one, and then you wonder if the actual invitation for the Hangouts, you know, Hangouts itself is confusing to me.
Tell me about it.
When he's doing it, it's like he's running a schedule. You know, he's got it down to a freaking science, and I I get paranoid sometimes. Like, where's the invitation? One time I was in there 20 minutes late. I was like, I don't know what the fuck the invitation was. But anyway.
Hey, my first two hangouts, the first one was a total bust. The second one was just cut short. So, yeah. I mean,
When I did mine, it was like the Science Sunday thing. I started one to test it out, and then it's like you have to send the invitation separately. I still don't know exactly how that worked. You create the event, and then you have to send out secondary invitations or some shit. And I'm on camera. This is live, and I'm rubbing my eyes.
That's fine. I had my screen locked, and I was showing a shot of my ceiling for the longest time. So.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. The very nice ceiling.
I guess, maybe possibly. So I'm too camera shy, so I don't do the camera too much. So.
Yeah. Well, there's my telescope tripod with the mount on it.
No, grab it and show us, as close as you can get us to it. Give us a rundown, I know you've done it in other hangouts, but may as well do it in this one. Got to brag a little bit about the awesome gear one has.
Is it better? Can you see it better now? Can you see it better now?
Yeah, I can see it. Oh, cool.
This is the whole mount.
Oh, yeah.
With the tripod. It's an equatorial mount. Telescope is in this box.
Awesome.
I could bring it out if you really want me to.
Up to you. You don't have to. I know you told me it was a refractive one.
Yeah. I have to move. I have to move a few. It's like this living in this room is like a jigsaw puzzle. I have to move a few things to open up the box.
I can understand. I've had to move from a larger place to a smaller place, so I can understand. You have to figure out where to put everything and stuff like that. No.
Well, I mean, I could do it if you're interested. I mean, maybe I could show you the
Oh,
eyepiece.
sure, why not? What about you, Zach? Are you interested?
Yeah.
All right. Well, give me a couple minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You can watch me move my stuff.
No. I almost got into astronomy. I started. I think it was a magazine that got me interested in about 2006, and I was all the way up, just thinking, oh, I have a little bit of money left over. I'll get myself a telescope, and then we had to move. So, and it's so small here. Oddly enough, even though we're still in the city, there's a nice open field that I could have gone to at least look at a few things. But
This, by the way, is part of my solar projection screen shield. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see my solar projection videos. This is like the lid to the screen.
oh, sweet. When I was married,
This is the actual solar projection screen. But you can see it's the Elmer's board. You open it up.
oh, awesome.
All right. But we don't need that right now. I just want that.
Do you live in the city, or are you on the outskirts, or are you in a town?
Well, when we go off air, oops.
Like, you don't have to
Go
tell
off
me
air and tell you exactly where I
you
am.
don't have to tell me what city or whatever, but because when I was married, I lived out on the town, and the nights would get, you didn't have to go far, and the nights would get so dark, and the stuff you could see. I remember we were traveling at night one time, and we had the Aurora Borealis, and it was just so bright. It was.
Yeah, we don't get much light down here. Very little at all. Okay, so
Oddly enough, we just lost Zachary.
Uh-oh.
maybe we'll wait to see if we get them back. But
Well, I got the box down now. I'm not gonna stop.
no, don't stop. You know, I guess you can always check it out when I put it up on my channel. So, by the way, if either of you, well, he's not in here, but I was gonna say if you ever wanna download and re-upload my Hangouts, you're more than welcome to. You know.
Okay.
If you ever find them interesting, say, hey, I definitely got to share this episode.
Well, you can't see the box on the floor, but I'm opening it up.
Cool.
And just to pull it out and show it to you, and I'll put it back in.
Oh, wow.
So that's
I am jealous. Ooh, Orion series. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's the Orion AstroView 90mm EQ.
Yeah, I saw a similar model in one of the magazines I had. I really should pick up.
Of course, I could just temporarily put it in here just to show you.
If you want, you didn't have to, but
See, it goes like that. You know, somewhere like that. And these go back over, and they screw down. Let me just loosen it up. Okay, we can get that sooner there. Well, anyway, okay. So that's, you do that to both of them, and that's what holds it in. All right. I'm not going to leave it in there because there's a factor of balance, and right now that everything is loose and it'll just fall over.
Don't worry about it. You know, that is so cool. I am so jelly.
90mm means the objective lens.
Yeah.
That's 90mm in diameter.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I think when I was looking at them, I was going to go for one of the reflective ones, one of the Newtonian one, or no, one of the hybrid ones, and because I wasn't looking for high magnification, I was because that's one thing everybody recommended is like if you want to see a lot of stuff, get one that has wide aperture, like a lot of area.
Yeah, that's right. The larger the aperture, just like a camera, the more light gathering power, the higher you can magnify. See, some people don't understand that you can't. You go to a toy store, you pick up a telescope. Oh, he's got up to 200 times. No. You magnify those little pieces of shit 200 times, and you're not seeing anything.
Yeah.
I've got up to 150 times, 160. Actually, I could do the calculation.
I heard it.
Here's my eyepieces. I keep them in this.
I hope that wasn't my laughter. For a moment, I thought I heard him laughing in here. Oh no, it was mine.
So this is if I don't clamp my finger down. This is the star diagonal, the prism.
Cool.
And 3 eyepieces. The 10mm came with it. The Plössl 10mm came with it.
Oh wow! You said you had if I heard you correctly, you said you had a prism aperture, or
yeah. This is the star diagonal.
Oh,
it goes in. It goes into the thing.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
And you put the eyepiece here.
I thought you had one of those things where you could get the spectra of.
I'm not sure if this is a mirror or a prism. I think it's a prism. I think it might be mirror.
Might be. It could be one of the two.
I forget. It might be a mirror because it looks like it might be a mirror because it's got the direct angle. Come to think of it, I think it might be a mirror.
Could be.
And then there's the 25mm that it came with. So 25mm is like 30 something times.
Oh, cool.
There it is, 25mm.
Wow, awesome.
That's about 30 some odd power. I should just do the calculation if this battery is still good in my tablet. I'll pull on the calculator.
You don't want to worry about too much about high magnification unless you're looking at a single star.
So it's a 910mm focal length divided by 25 millimeter
Cool.
is 36.4 power.
Oh, wow.
So 10 millimeters, obviously 91 times.
Yeah.
So I don't have any Barlow lenses, but what I did buy was an extra eyepiece. This is an Expanse eyepiece, and it's actually better than the eyepieces that came with. You'll see that there's a rim here, which is like a safety rim, so that you can put it into the thing without making it fall out, where the other ones don't have that. But check this out. This is a 6 millimeter eyepiece, right?
We got him back. Yay.
Saggy Dick, real nice lady, huh? No! What can I do for you?
Either that or we got a TV show back.
Yeah, right. 6 millimeter eyepiece gives me 151.6 times, almost 152 times, right? But
Yeah.
I want you to see something. This is the
Say my name on.
I'm gonna have to temporarily mute you until you get your whatever you're going fixed. Come on, mute. Go. I think I muted him.
Did you get him?
I don't. It doesn't say. Just like I might have to go into that.
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Okay.
So check this out. Now this is the part you look into.
Oh, cool. Okay.
How wide that is, right?
Yeah.
It's like a porthole into space. And that's 152 power, right?
Wow.
Now, this is a special eyepiece, and this is not even an expensive eyepiece. I bought this for $40. They were regularly $60, right? There's a whole series of them. But here's the difference. Here's a 25 millimeter eyepiece, the low power eyepiece, and this is a Plössl. Plössls used to be like some of the best eyepieces you can buy, right? It's about as wide, maybe a little wider, right?
Wow. Cool.
But now check out the 10 millimeter, the one that's supposed to be high power that came with it.
Uh huh.
That's the little circle that you look into. And that's not so bad, but I've seen worse. You try to get anything less than 10 millimeter, and you're going to be looking through a fucking pinhole.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a Plössl. Yet I got a 6 millimeter with a bigger viewing angle.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want a wide.
You see,
And that's
that's the reason why I got this eyepiece.
Yeah.
And that's 152 power, 151.6, whatever. Call it 152.
Yeah.
Right? Call it 150. Fuck it, give or take, right? The magnification limit of any telescope is about, I think that, what is it, on a 2.5 times the aperture, or twice the aperture. 180 times. Some people say 2.1 times. I used to think it was like 2.5 times, but basically 200 power is about as high as you want to go on a telescope that's 90 millimeters, which is high, which is relatively high. But I didn't want to fuck with Barlow lenses and shit. I never really liked them, but some people swear by them, right? So instead of spending money on a Barlow, I went and bought myself a nice eyepiece. It was on sale for $40. And this is when I had money. I don't have any more money, by the way. But this is when I had a job and was buying this telescope. It was just a few years ago. This gives me 150 power. And that's relatively high. It's approaching the limit of the telescope anyway. Now, when I get a chance, if I actually get some money again, I would like to bring it up to closer, like to 180 or something. Maybe I'll buy a Barlow and a in-between lens or something to bring it up that high. I don't know. But, to look at the planet Saturn and Jupiter, you want a higher power. But this telescope is a lot brighter.
Yeah, that's what you want. Like, when I was getting interested, I was wanting to look at, as I said, objects that took up more, that had a larger arc. And that's why I said I knew I didn't want one of those high powered. I just wanted wide so I could capture a large chunk of sky and take a look at things. I remember in some of my magazines, there was a company that would put two telescopes together. The the Newtonian one. I'm hoping I'm getting it right. The Newtonian, the ones that are reflective, and that would come up to the side, and they'd have it angled, and so it was like a super powered binoculars.
Yeah, I just wanted. I don't know if Zach is watching, but I just want to show him the telescope while he's on.
Well, I'm gonna unmute him and see if he's. Because I don't know if he knows how to unmute himself. I hope I can unmute him. Some people have problems unmuting people they mute. Yeah, he's gonna have to. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, it's a badass telescope.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was just showing because you ended up cutting out on us.
Yeah, we lost you.
I just want to.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh yeah.
No problem. It happens.
So I just want to show you what I had to do.
Actually, praying my internet doesn't cut out. It doesn't happen often, but every now and then my internet will decide to have problems. So, but it's cooler today, so I'm hoping the modem will behave itself. So.
Actually, before I put it away, I just found a tag. Here it is.
Oh wow.
AstroView 90mm EQ.
Oh wow.
The finder scope in itself is a 6-power telescope. Here's the finder scope.
Some of the magazines I was looking at.
Here's the finder
A
scope.
lot of times that's all they use is finder scope.
Please do what we need to hunt them now.
Yeah, they do quite well with even just the finder scopes.
Yeah, that attaches to this part of the telescope. My old telescope from when I was still married was the 80mm Celestron, and it really didn't have a finder scope. It had like a peak hole, and it was attached to the telescope permanently. This is a removable finder scope. That's actually a telescope in itself. And believe it or not, 90mm is only 10mm bigger than 80mm, but it's a lot brighter. The F ratio, if you know about cameras, is 10.1 or 10.2 as opposed to 11.4 on the Celestron. In fact, they have the same focal length, 910mm.
Cool.
You couldn't find 90mm telescopes in those days without spending a lot of money. This time they made one, and it was not much money in considering, you know. But yeah, you're right. They do have what they call light buckets. If you go cheap, you have the mirrors, but they're open, and they need to be taken care of.
Yeah, that was the one thing. That was the one thing that make me hesitant.
Until you get to the more expensive ones, the Canada Optics, the multiple, you know, they got actual corrective lens on them. They're closed systems, but they're like $1,000.
Yeah.
At least 800, you know. Okay, now I got the job of putting this away. What I think I'll do is, while I'm putting this away, I'll mute and give Zachary a chance to rejoin.
All right. Well, first of all, is my mic sounding better?
Yeah, it's starting to. You're still distorting a little bit, but yeah, it's starting to sound a lot better.
Right.
So.
I hope they're going good. Oh, sweet. Well, yeah, I don't know how my laptop fell asleep on me. Or I can still hear you guys. So really.
It's just not wanting to be nice to you today.
Weird.
Oh well, maybe next time I do a hangout, we'll have to do a paleo special. We'll have to focus on all things paleo. I mean, sadly, the closest thing I've ever come to artifacts is I never did luck out to finding bones, but I did find this stone that had the center, and it was on one of these. It was on one of these islands that were in a protected park region, and we all figured it was either a fishing weight used by the natives or a way of sharpening the tips of their sticks. And I have no clue on that, but maybe I'll have to shill around and see if we can find find somebody who who's upgraded and has a used mic.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what I need to go to the store and buy now.
Yeah. I actually have to get a new webcam because my webcam has dead pixels on it.
Yeah. One thing I was going to mention.
You might have to speak softly for your
in the future. Okay.
You keep cutting out, so you might have to speak softly for your microphone.
How's this?
A little too more romantic. Touch it up just a tiny bit.
Well, one thing I was thinking about doing in the future was something like a Paleo News Live, where I kind of give the news in a Google Hangout style, kind of like off the cuff, like that. So if that's something you're interested in watching or joining, that's one of my ideas for the future.
Oh, sure. I've loved your Paleo News, so I'll definitely...
It's funny you should mention that, because I saw that video on your channel about that, and I try to start something like that with the damn Science Sundays, and it sounds like a great idea.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, my hangouts are going to be whenever enough people say, "Oh, hold the hangout."
Yeah. I'll definitely have to get a better
Well, if I can help in any way, like I'm still learning things, but oh shoot, just lost. Sorry about my volume. I'm still learning things myself, but if I can help in any way, I'd be more than willing to volunteer.
All right, cool. That sounds awesome.
I don't know, you guys getting kind of burned out because I know this conversation has gone down a little bit. So
I was muted.
Oh.
I was going to say that it goes along with the with my hopes that I can promote science and try to get people to start critical thinking and stuff. The idea of doing a paleontology show, I mean, I don't know nothing about it, but I think it would be great. I'd be watching it all together, and I would definitely share it, you know, like I would tell everybody that this guy's doing the show. Let's join it, you know. that would be awesome.
Cool.
It'll be another you know, step or another chink in the chain that these creationists, you know, don't realize, you know, how stupid they are. But it'll be another step for people to learn about stuff like that, because there's not a lot out there to teach them. And like you'd be the professor of Google Plus on paleontology, or on YouTube. Or
now you made me think about that one lady with Christians Against Dinosaurs. Oh, I'm trying to remember if you were exposed to her, Zachary.
There's no evidence.
Yeah. She was on. I don't know if you know Aaron Raw, but I'm subscribed to him. But he actually had her on, and you know, discussion podcast type thing, and yeah.
Girl who doesn't say dinosaurs exist, something like that.
Yeah, and she
walked off.
Everybody knows she rage quit. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, she She rage quit. She walked away.
Yeah. She tried to claim otherwise, but yeah.
Okay, well, the paleontology thing will definitely be a thing I'll work on next and getting together. So, thank you for positive feedback on that.
No problem. I sure enjoy it. I'll promote it to everybody I know.
I noticed that you made that video like a year ago, and I'm like still waiting for it. I haven't watched all your other videos yet, but I'm going to.
Yeah, he also one time tantalized me with about the pterosaurs there, and I was like, oh, I want to know more about their lineages and everything, but I know.
He said something about in that video, that introductory video. He said something about dinosaurs we never even heard of. It's not usually publicized and stuff. I don't even remember the names of them. So, that would be awesome.
Sorry, I heard.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a serious computer problem there.
Which, yes, both of those are things.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a serious computer problem there. I was saying that I watched your video and you were talking about starting that show you just mentioned, and you were also talking about some dinosaurs that are not generally publicly known, you know, some stuff that we never heard of before and everything, right? And I'm just saying it would be awesome to learn about that stuff.
Yeah, all right, cool. There's plenty of dinosaurs that no one's ever heard of, so yeah, that'd be cool to get more recognition on them out there.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Definitely. Now you
kind of for example, did you know that there's a dinosaur that has wings that look like a bat?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sounds like a pterosaur to me.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he'll be able to correct me on this, but generally, I believe most pterosaurs, it stretches pretty much right out. Bats actually have, technically speaking, actually have the most, at least according to my source, have the, or at least the article I read, technically have the most advanced wings. Even though they don't have the bone structure to allow them to be as light as birds, their wings are actually technically more advanced than a bird, because it can the bat has, because it has more digits within its wings, it has better control over the shape of the wing, and it can actually can do maneuvers a bird cannot do. And so if that happened once before within pterosaurs, that would just be like mind blowing.
I mean, you could probably teach us, or everybody on Google and YouTube, the difference between a pterosaur and a pterodactyl. What is the difference between a bat and these creatures from days on by? If they are the same, if they're not, why not? If there is a bat dinosaur kind of like thing out there, like you just mentioned, we don't know any of this stuff. This stuff was not taught to us in schools like it should have been.
Yeah, no, that's insane. So yeah, I'm excited now. I'm gonna get this thing started.
I did good. I'm promoting this. I'm pushing it. Even if I'm not making a dime off of it, I want to learn.
Get credit.
Spread the knowledge, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely, because we need to. Oh, my volume's all the way up again. We need to get people more interested in science, because I mean, it's just it's actually quite fascinating. I mean, the more people we have in it, I think the better our society will get. You know, because I mean, a lot of the problems we're having nowadays with bills being passed, budgets being decided, are just, at least in my view, due to the level of ignorance we have within the people who are in positions of power. And
well, that's exactly my point. Neil deGrasse Tyson said it in so many different ways, and so did Bill Nye. It's the science illiteracy in this country is horrible. or if you want to call it the lack of science literacy. Either way you look at it, whichever way you put it, it's a horrible thing. And Bill Nye is saying if we don't learn how to do science and what science is actually about, we're not going to innovate anymore. This country's going to fall. And it's a shame. Like I was telling everybody else, you don't have to be a scientist. I'm not telling everybody to become scientists. I'm telling everybody that they should at least know, how actually science works, and they should realize how stupid they are. If you're a creationist, they should realize how stupid they are for saying that the Earth is only 6,000 years old and insisting on it. And they should realize how stupid this is. And our politicians who are running this country are some of the worst criminals on this. And it pisses me off that we have congressmen in running this country that are just as stupid. It's hard for me to believe this. So in order to change this, instead of being in some stupid room where there is really no such thing as a debate, they sit there and debate whether the Earth is 6,000 years old or not. We all know that it's just not fucking true. There should be this promotion of science, or at least, literacy in such, or any kind of literacy for that matter, because some of these people can't even fucking read.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I mean, ever since Europe got the Large Hadron Collider, with its large expansion there, it's benefited hugely from the technology just for developing it. I mean, I can't think of any science field that doesn't peel off benefits. I mean, even some people might question paleontology, but paleontology gives us an understanding of our biological history, and
it's all pieces of the puzzle. I mean, to me, I'm not nearly as interested in biology, for example, as I am in astronomy. I am almost as interested in paleontology, but I just don't know anything about it, as astronomy. But the point is that it's all science. It's all like as Carl Sagan says, to interrogate nature. That's where the fun is. And to have it, like me, I'm just a science enthusiast. I'm not a scientist. I don't have a degree. But I'm obviously enthusiastic about it, right? In other words, I have a science literacy about me. I understand that there is reasons for thinking this way, and just because I don't know how to do calculus doesn't mean I don't think calculus is important. I could just about do algebra, but you know what I'm saying.
I think even Zachary might be able to testify to this, is that even just within, trying to technologies developed to process and identify and even piece together fossils has inspired desires to improve even things like CAT scans and stuff like that, be more accurate and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember how excited I got when I found this Artie thing, this Ardilopithecus, and when I found Lucy. And I really don't know exactly how they know what they know, but I was eager to listen to what they were saying and why they were saying these things, and how the age of man's ancestors were being pushed back further and further, and it's now like past 1,000,000 years now instead of a few 100,000 years like they thought it was. This is immensely interesting to me. And not for any monetary reason or anything, it's just because I'm human and I'm curious. But people don't want to know that. People say, if you can't eat it, what good is it? Fuck you, the Earth is only 6,000 years old. It's no more than 10,000. Don't worry about what the scientists tell you. They don't know shit. It's all in the fucking Bible. That's all you need. It makes me sick. It really makes me sick.
Yeah, one thing I was going to mention. To have power.
You cut out there. You might have to repeat yourself and speak sweet stuff to your computer. Did you hear us?
Yeah, I can. You breaking up a little bit too.
Are you in a hollow room, like with little furniture? I'm thinking that maybe the computer is trying to reduce the noise
It
and the
was
echo.
what you talked about.
You know, maybe sit on a couch or something where there's soft cushions around you to absorb the sound. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out. I don't know. I've got all kinds of acoustic insulation around me. That's why I'm the way I am. It's pretty dead in here. I can make it a little deader, but I got the microphone surrounded in acoustic insulation. I've got fiberglass underneath one of the speakers.
Yeah, I should do something like that. I need to get myself a microphone itself and do something like that. Just sadly, everything else wants my money for some strange reason. You know,
Yeah,
it's the coolest thing
I'm
called
frugal people. It's a shame because Zachary is such an interesting person to talk to, and it's like his microphone was not cooperating. I'm like, damn it, I want to go over there and strangle his computer.
Yep, that's about it too. So.
You're fucking paleontologist, for Christ's sake, give him a break.
He's VIP. Treat him good.
I wish that kind of problem would happen to people like Ken Ham or or those other creations. Well, there's other creations that we have problems with, like Tom Hall or somebody, you know. No, he's got to have a perfect microphone.
Nephilim free. I don't know.
Yeah, all of them guys. You know, why can't they have microphone problems?
No. Well, if anybody's watching this podcast and at any time and they have a spare microphone, contact me and we'll see about making arrangements to ship it somehow, some way. Just has to work decently, and hopefully that's just the issue. So, well, I think we kind of burnt out this a little bit. If anybody wants to shill anything, go ahead, shill right now. We've already shilled Zachary's, but if he wants to shill one more time, we'll shill it.
Shill? What does shill mean?
That means where you kind of promote, you kind of self-promote. I don't know who came up with the term, but I've heard it used so much, and usually they promote something or whatever, promote an event, promote their...
Well, if anybody's interested, I've got 2 Facebook groups, one of which is Curiosity Landing Celebration and all space exploration mission followers. It was only 150 or less members right now, and it's been around for a couple of years, maybe 3 years or more. Just as long as the group that I have that has over 4,000 members, which is Atheists for the Advancement of Science, Reason, and Morality. Obviously, the group that has more members in it is because of the word atheist before it. People want controversy, you know. But there's my shill.
Okay, and we'll tempt fate and give Zachary a chance to shill anything and or promote anything. Go for it. There's no promises on whether the people will hear it or not, but it all depends on his computer.
I just want to say thanks for inviting me, and I look forward to talking to you. If you heard that.
Half of it.
We got some of that.
I assume you said.
I know we said thank you for inviting him.
No. You're always welcome. You're always welcome. So,
this is comical.
If you want, we can do some dry runs sometime and test out some options and figure things out. And I would really like to see your Paleo News live. It'd be kind of cool to have commentary from panelists and stuff like that. And whatever.
Yeah, you're gonna definitely have to do something about that microphone if you're gonna go live with the teaching channel.
Yeah. Well, as I said, we can do some, scrappable demos on here, and or even just some straight hangouts until we can figure out how to fix it. Maybe I'll get that script that will control my microphone volume, but just live with it. Yeah, then hopefully one of these days we'll have a Paleo News Live, and I'll be starstruck when I realize I helped bring it about. So, well, if that's it. If nobody has anything else to comment, and whatever, I think we'll kill it right now, or we'll kill it. Everybody who's watching, thanks for watching. Don't make me too popular. I don't want to be too popular. I want to keep my subscription under 500. So.
What is that reverse psychology?
Subscribe to somebody. Go science yourself.
Tomorrow he's gonna have
That
a
is
billion
where you should your subscriptions. Okay, I gladly appreciate you guys joining my little hangout here. So take care. I'll just stop the broadcast.